And we cold open that way! How's it doing, everybody?
Yeah.
Good morning, afternoon, and or evening, ladies, gentlemen, and all those above and beyond that binary of the internet. Welcome to Neon Lights Roleplay, and more specifically, welcome to In His Divine Name, the OnlyWar actual play live stream. Another day, another nailed intro. Man, run me a check, all right? Anyway, I'm your host for the day, Young Foxxii. Your game maestro, as it were. I meant to have a new overlay for today, but I've had a week, so, it's next session, I promise. But, nonetheless, more importantly than anything else, I have with me 4 lovely, lovely soldiers of the Emperor, 4 compatriots ready to give their hearts, minds, souls, and most likely probably their bodies in the service of the Emperor's truth. So I'm going to set the mood with some intro music real quick, if y'all don't mind. If that sounds cool to everybody. If everybody's cool with a little bit of just a little something, you know. And I'm gonna after I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and just let y'all introduce yourselves as you would like. I'll take it away because he's first and he's not here with us. But not here with us today is Purple Phil as Sergeant Farasholi. He will be busy today. He's currently on vacation. We hope he's having a blast and having a great time. We miss and love him, and we look forward to seeing him next session. Thanks for being fun, babe. We miss you. Anyway, case. After Purple is Sir Hex, so whenever you're ready, love, take it away.
Yeah, we miss our chat buddy. Anyway, hi guys, it's me, Sir Heckalite, I will be playing Taman Feldus, the medic, along with her tech, Benin. We're just gonna see how this goes, especially, I don't know, with, half of my face going on here. Do I have hair? You don't know. Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?
Sketch.
Let's move on.
This kid's super sketch. Won't even show us their hair. Back to you. No, but everybody, I am Turk or Turk Accented. I will be playing Kieran Lopata, the now officially sanctioned breacher of the group. So all the fun explosives skills that come with that. So recently healed from his lifetime plasma burn and looking to make some new ones. It should be a lot of fun, and I'm going to throw it over to Meg.
Hello, everybody. I'm glad you said something before I put cereal in my face. I am Mysteria, and I will be playing Nora Valseer, our resident sanctioned psyker, who's... She really hasn't gotten many upgrades, but who needs them when you can just make people burst into flames?
You can light things on fire with your brain. I think you're good.
Exactly.
As far as upgrades go, honestly.
Who needs to be nerfed, probably,
yeah, honestly,
but whatever.
Needs to be balanced. Balanced team to approach that, but this game's like 8 years old, so that's not going to happen. Anyway.
But, that is me, so let's throw it over to Shock.
Right. And yes, I am Shockpoint Fader. I am reprising my role as Ziggurat86. The overlay still needs to be corrected.
I'm going to make a new one, I'm sorry!
Yes, the resident tech priest, and at this point, walking battery in more ways than one.
Motherfuckers write you out here, all right? We're not playing any fucking games, okay? It's serious.
Write you for now, but at the end of this, I will be goddamn Zapdos.
Exactly. We're going up, okay? It's not a joke out here, all right? It's serious. It's real. It's up and it's stuck, okay? Cardi B references aside. And lastly, and honestly, leastly compared to these wonderful souls out here, like I said, I'm Young Foxxii. I'll be playing everybody that's not these 4 people and or their aides. I'll also be playing their aides sometimes. But I want to bring us back in to what happened. So, recently, our soldiers, the Squad 115-3-2, recently upgraded to 115-3-1 as a result of having completed the siege of Hive Nexus, were upgraded to a command squad and sent out on some routine anti-insurgency operations and patrols, just things to kind of keep the populace in line. Most things were pretty simple. You do some patrolling with some chimeras, do some walking around, administer some aid, get some shit thrown at you by some civilians who were a little unhappy, pass by some rather gratuitous graffiti with some pretty direct insults about all of your parents or whatever. You're not sure how they got that information, but whatever. But after that, a firefight broke out. Pretty wild firefight, actually, which you all managed to resolve with some minor wounds, nothing too crazy. You managed to put them all in the dirt pretty sufficiently. However, you weren't really able to resolve that situation as the alarms went up, blaring, and large, flesh-like ships began descending down from the heavens. You were all quickly loaded back up in your Chimera and rushed back towards Squad Command, where you now all currently are. The barracks are a veritable hive of motion. There are soldiers all over the place, gathering, talking, and working at things. They're running around and moving. You can hear radio comms are constant, deploying the troops, people being moved onto the walls in different places and things like that. You can see squads deploying much heavier weaponry than they were previously. A lot of squads have flame weaponry or plasma weaponry being gathered and being taken in different positions. Gunships are already being loaded into the air. Some of them are Valkyries, which are like taking squads from your company off to be deployed or dropped into certain positions or elevated lookout positions, or even to get advanced scouting positions of the enemy forces as they land. But a lot of them are Vulture gunships loaded up with autocannons and missiles and all kinds of heavy weaponry. This isn't just a counter push from the insurgents. This is something worse. And those ships in the sky are definitely telling you exactly what's happening here. Lenora, you specifically, you've been feeling this presence at the back of your head. It's like someone took an extra lump of something and slipped it in under your skull. There's an extra lump of something pressing into your skull, it feels like, and it's felt like that all day, nonstop. It's not painful, just annoying. But it's getting worse. Very slowly. As you're all... Sorry,
gauge what that is, but... sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. Please, you're fine. If you're trying to gauge what that is, you start, obviously you can immediately tell it's connected to kind of your psychic awareness, your signitions, as it were. It sort of just feels like your sort of outward presence of the warp and the warp energies around you. There's a wall in the distance. Not like a wall enclosing your perception such that you can't feel around you. You can still sort of feel the outer world and everything. But just in the distance, as you kind of stretch your perception out to its limits, you kind of feel this wall, this shadow, for lack of a better term, honestly. And I want to come back to that very soon. Don't you worry. So I want you, whatever you have, and that's the thought I want you to hold on to, because I want to come back to that very soon. Don't you worry. The last thing I want to do very quickly, though, is set a scene. So, you all are brought in through your barracks. You're rushed almost. You're very, very quickly brought through command. Soldiers are moving all. You can see other squads. A lot of them are even offering you very, very crisp salutes now, as you're all officially effectively a command squad now. So, as you all pass, a lot of them offer you very crisp salutes and quickly head on back to their business. A lot of other people are moving around. Some of your comrades seem a bit jittery, nervous. Benen's, he's kind of a person who's known to keep his cool in situations like these, but you can kind of see him just very, very much looking back and forth a lot, trying to keep in mind what's going on. Just very, very almost more than he usually is. But you're kind of brought past that as you're all taken very quickly into the sort of command deck where your Commander Seston, who you've all seen at least once since your time being back at barracks, and you would all know he only has one arm now. He lost an arm in the siege. He sits there, grizzled, scarred, and still bearing that same wicked smile of his, but it's definitely muted. He says, "About time you all got back here. I don't have a lot of time to explain. You're being deployed to the eastern walls."
What for exactly?
You've seen the ships, I'm guessing, yes?
Well, yeah, of course, but what are we doing on the eastern wall? We just shooting them up, or blowing them out, or what?
He kind of takes a second, bridges his nose for a bit. It's frustration. It's not with you. You can tell that. It's just like a man who's been giving a lot of orders over the past 30, 40 minutes, maybe. He just says, "Lapata, you know what a Tyranid is, son?"
Well, I watched all the, beside, instructional vids.
So you got no fucking clue. Good. Let me explain it to you all then. Imagine a predator, a creature, a beast if you have to. Your local crag cat or, dust bear from wherever planet you're from. But scalier, and spinier, and angrier. And it doesn't want to eat you because it's hungry. It doesn't want to kill you because it's scared. It doesn't want to defend a home or a territory. It and the other thousands of things right around it that look just like it. That mass of teeth and claws bearing down on your position. It wants to rip you and every single thing that looks like you apart just to eat that biomass. Just to grow and grow and grow. It's predatory hunger made manifest, children. Alright? This isn't your insurgent shootout. This isn't a training simulation. This isn't even a squabble with orcs on some other planet. You shoot, you kill, or you die. I'm gonna be honest. You're gonna see things out there that you can't wrap your heads around. It's going to be on you to keep your heads out there. Not just for yourselves, for every soldier around you. You see those pins on your armor now? And you all note that on your right flat pauldron there's a new sort of Aquila pattern, a gold pin on your armor. It's not gonna be an issue. I denote you as command. When shit gets hectic, when soldiers don't know what to do, they'll be looking at all of you. If your heads are down in the trenches, if your las guns are in your mouths, they're following suit. Do I make myself clear?
Crystal? What was that?
I have to make this clear because I'm redeploying your commander somewhere else. The command squad will operate as a detachment on its own.
So
we need you on the western walls handling some of the reinforcements there. People we're putting there are garrison troops and militia. We need a strong leader there to keep them motivated. Your aide will stay here with the squad to keep them, well, alive. But you yourself are being redeployed. Operational command falls to, well, all of you. Trust each other.
Well, alright. Suppose send Dad away. That's something fun to do.
There are a few other things I have to make very clear. He presses his one good hand on a hollow table, and a small sort of map of the city lights up. As you can see, certain sections light up. The first one is the outer walls immediately. The second one are a sort of ring of buildings and districts that kind of rim a sort of secondary perimeter. The third are a set of sort of like strong points that kind of fall, that kind of set up a secondary, a third tertiary line. And the fourth is the lights up as like the command barracks. It's like the sort of center of these three concentric rings. He says, "Our defense is concentric. You are on the walls first, but understand that I don't need you all to die there. If the walls get breached, if you can't hold that line, fall back to the second perimeter. If they push through that, fall back to the third strong points. Those strong points are our last line before this command center. If they fall, we're swarmed here. They knock us out of this city, the invasion's over. We pull out, we lose this planet." Secondly, your enemies, they'll be different. So I'll upgrade your logic ratings for a while. You'll have access to better equipment and more gear. So before you head out, see by the operations room for a bit and recce whatever you need. Be reasonable though. We have to still deploy those weapons elsewhere if they're needed. Choices will have to be made on what you can or can't take. Am I clear?
Understood. I'll get my Christmas list out and only ask for half of it.
The last thing, it's a bit of a privilege you're all afforded, but it's not one I like giving to my command officers. As recognized officials on this front, you are all afforded one requisitioned letter or communique to someone off-world in the event of your death on this front. Is there someone you want a message sent to should you die today?
Well, just send it back to the Lapata family back on Batalis 3 and be alright.
He presses a few buttons. You see like a few lines of Unicode binary kind of come up and resolve into a sort of a line of code next to your name. He kind of just nods at you. The rest of you?
A message sent back to the rest of the Ziggurat units, informing that if I do fall today, that I serve the Omnissiah well.
He says, I'm not sure I have all the proper authorities to make that happen, but I can pass it along the right channels. Presses a few buttons, and similarly you see a line of code resolved next to your name. Anybody else?
Nah.
Understood. Ensign Valseer?
No.
You'll see two other lines in a different color resolved next to both of your names. It says, Benin does look over at you, Taman, nervously, and then says, there's a priestess back on Manchun. She operates in the clergy on the western districts. If you could just pass along something to her if I don't make it. And he just says, easily done. Presses a few buttons and offers them a small smile. The rest say their respective things. Some of them offer to have things sent back to their families. Some say to just make sure that their deeds are recorded somewhere important. Some offer to have nothing sent at all, saying that they prefer to just not be remembered in such a grisly way. Nonetheless, the commander records this information, says, all right, I can't hold you up any longer. Recce your gear, offer your prayers to the Emperor, and get deployed. Dismissed. And you are all left. I would say, based on sort of the operational time schedule you're given, you have about the equivalent of about 30 minutes of time before you're properly deployed. So if there's anything you think you want to do that would be reasonable to have been done in that time, which could include going to recce some gear, or going to talk to somebody, or going to go look at something, or check in on something, or say a prayer, I don't know. Any of that's fine. I'm not going to call on you like children. You're all adults. Just say whatever you want to do. We'll address some other time. Go for it. The scene is yours, as I love to say so much.
So, Ziggy, seeing that he only has 30 minutes, would have liked to get a new implant, but he's going to have to go for a more low-key, well, low-tech solution to what he wants. And I don't know how well this is going to work, because what I have in mind is not exactly covered in the book, but it makes sense for something to exist like this.
Hit me up. We'll figure it out.
Simply put, he wants a more portable energy source to refuel his own supplies if needed.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and say that that's gonna be a very rare item.
Mm-hmm.
And as there is multiple regiments deployed onto the planet, that test is by default at a -20 for you guys. But war conditions are currently at, well, technically war conditions with the Dominion, or with the Separatists, are at a ceasefire, so technically you're at a +30 for that. So it revolves to an overall +2. However, you have been on this front for, let's see, technically less than 3 months, which brings that down to a less. So technically, yeah, it's an overall a flat roll. So you are rolling flat at your logic rating of 40. So you're just basically rolling a flat D100. If you roll under 40, you get your thing.
Okay, so that's a D100. Total number is 40. Roll below. Yep, that's right. Okay, and
We're looking at, boss.
that would
Oof.
be...
And it's
Yeah, no.
a near failure. Okay, so here's how we'll play this out. So, Ziggy, you approach requisition, and you start talking about you start rambling off a very, very technical term for what you need. Just like, hi, I need a lambda-grade portable power source for operating at least a minimum of 3 to 4 terawatts of outage. And the guy behind the sort of gated thing just says, excuse me? His friend just says, don't mind him, he's new. He pulls him off to the side, They walk over. They walk away, and eventually, sort of, you hear like this kind of like shuffling, like a dunk, 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 as a humanoid servitor moves its way towards the front, and then turns and just says, "Requisition request registered. What do you require?" Upon repeating your request for what you need, you see like kind of the servitor kind of like slack jaw for a bit as he seems to be like processing through things, and it says, "Error, lambda grade power source not available. Best operative would be delta grade. At delta grade, you would know it's effectively what you're looking for, but it would operate at about half efficiency. So you'd be able to do the thing you need to do with the power source, but only half as often."
All right. Well, Ziggy would nod and accept that.
Compliance. Turn. Shuffle his way away. And he takes a bit of time to grab it. You actually register the perfect amount of time it takes, and you think like that servitor probably needs some tuning, because it should take a servitor about 16.472 seconds exactly to find that kind of thing in a requisition source, but it takes them 14.796. So you're like, they should probably work with that servitor a little bit. But he does walk back over, drop the power source, and wordlessly just shuffle back away. So yeah, you got that on hand. And just mark that somewhere on your character sheet so I know you have it. Doesn't really matter where, or in your notes somewhere so you know you have it.
All right.
And anything else you want to do right now, or can we go to somebody else real quick?
That's it for right now. Other than that, he probably would have fired off a few buttons on that crystal wafer from last time while he was waiting for the power cell to get.
Makes sense. All right. So, and we will come back to that in just a little bit. No question. Let me see who else is something to do. Anybody else?
I want a plasma gun, please.
Okay. What's the plasma gun's rarity?
Very rare.
Very rare. All right. So then that would just be the same roll as the Zigster there.
All right.
You're gonna go ahead and just roll a flat D100. Looking for under 40.
Can I use my +2?
You sure can. Which modifies as a +20, which brings you up to a 60, which technically means you only fail by 1. So here's what I'll say. So you walk up, and you walk up to like, "I need a plat," and he goes, "We know, Lapad." He walks back over, comes back over, and it's actually a plasma gun you've seen before. In fact, you've used before. You recognize some of the scratches in it, like you've put them in yourself to note, like, this is one that I've shot before. It's got some quirks to it. It doesn't, it overheats slightly more often than your average plasma gun. It does still work as a plasma gun, effectively, but it's got a slightly higher chance of overheating. But it's a plasma gun. And they're like, "Best one we got in store for you. Figured you wanted, an old handy one."
Look down the sights. Turn it over. Give the coils a little brush as they start humming blue. That'll work.
Happy to be served, sir.
Catch you around. Take it easy. I'm gonna go kill some things with this.
All right. I'm gonna pause for about 16 seconds while I let my dog in, and then I'll be right back. Tiny dog, what do you want?
Just... Hey, look! They gave me another plasma gun. I'm gonna get my scars back in no time, Ziggy.
Oh, yeah.
Are you sure you would you would not like me to bless that before we use it?
I'll be fine.
All right. Now that I've
Fair
done
enough.
child. Anybody else have a thing they want to do in this half an hour you have before you deploy?
Well, it's taking forever for me to see if there are some combat drugs I might want to get in their rarity, but my connection is not being very in this book right now, so I might take a bit. But that's the thing that I'm.
That's fair. Oh, sorry. What are you taking one more time?
In combat drugs.
Oh yeah. So we're going for combat drugs. Okay. Cool.
I just don't know what the rarity is for any of the specific ones, so it's gonna
fudge it. What do you
actually
want?
get to it.
We'll fudge it. What do you want?
I don't know yet.
Oh, well, take
That's
your
why
time.
I'm trying to look for it in the book.
Yeah, no, take your time.
You
I'll
know,
figure it
I
out.
have the book open and I can see everything. What kind of common drugs are you after?
I was just gonna see what was in here because I seriously have no idea. Oh, okay. I think I just got to it. Yeah, drugs and consumables. Okay.
Consumable drugs.
Consumable drugs. You know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's gonna take a while for me to actually read through
Take your
these
time.
and see what they do, but
Yeah, take your time. I'll check in with Lenore real quick.
Okay.
You doing anything real quick, love?
Well, coincidentally, 30 minutes is enough time for me to hang out and find whatever quiet spot I can that's still functional in this base and meditate for a bit. And we'll see if we can get anything from Scryer's Gaze.
Sure. There's actually a chamber, which is sort of like they set up for like all
Yeah,
the sanctioned psychers. There was a similar one sort of in the barracks that you were at previously, but like they kind of like roughshod made one in this command post. It's not great, like it's not perfectly soundproof, but they've put up some panels on the walls, and it's kind of like where like all the various sanctioned psychers of the company can kind of come here. Actually, as you walk in, there are actually some other psychers who are here. You get the feeling that the idea of going to meditate to figure out what the fuck is going on wasn't the worst, wasn't like a unique idea you had. But yeah, and they all kind of
we're
like,
all just vibing.
Yeah, like, no one even like acknowledges like you walk in. Like you leave the door open quietly. You walk in, it's like dark and quiet. No one even like notices you walk in. You kind of just find a nice spot on the rug to get comfy, get yourself quiet, and yeah, you start to meditate. So let's go ahead and make some Scryer's Gaze happen. Let's do it.
I'm gonna go ahead and use that +2.
Yeah. Wow, 5 degrees of success. Okay. All right. So, all right. Give me a second. Let's think about this. All right. So, Lenora, you're entering into this meditative sort of gaze, and why don't you go ahead and remind the audience what that's like for you? How you manifest your Scryer's Gaze.
Scryer's Gaze, it's probably manifests more of like an aura. We've seen kind of that red flame energy before with her other capabilities. And that does carry over a little bit. It just feels like a warm aura around her as just the heat of just running through so many different scenarios and consuming that energy to go through everything running through her head. And that's about it. There really isn't much to it.
Fair enough. So, as you're manifesting this sort of aura, this flame-like aura around you, it does kind of like add a bit more light to the room, which again, none of the other psychers seem to even like notice or worry about too much. Like, some of them might like turn their heads a bit in your direction, but none of them seem to care much. It's not an uncommon thing. Psychers are weird. Everybody's weird. But as you're manifesting this sort of aura around you and trying to sort of hone it to sort of pierce through the skeins of fate to see what you can sort of ordain, the first thing you feel is, well, that shadow you felt previously. And you recall that your last vision ended in a shadow, kind of washing over everything. This vision begins similarly. You see a shadow, which kind of slowly separates to have you view the planet you're on, you'd wager. And there are these tendrils of something maligned and purplish black coming down all around it, corrupting and invading it, coming down all and landing all over it. You wager these are probably the Tyranids, or at least the way your mind visualizes this invasion. It manifests as an image of your comrades on the walls, fighting valiantly. You can't see directly what they're shooting at, but they're pouring down fire, and they're just like they're over the walls and aiming and firing rapidly and screaming, shouting orders at comrades. They look valiant and triumphant, but frantic. The next vision you see is your group in a building of some kind, or in a room. You can't really tell if it's a building or something, but a room. And you're all looking for cover. You're not, but your guns are ready. You're all down low looking for cover, and like keeping your eyes very, very focused as you're huddling in this room together. And the feeling you get as you see this is like a very, very frantic, almost panicked fear. The third image that resolves is this chittering tide, just this swath of eye and fang and teeth and claw and acid and bile and hatred and venom and spite roiling over all of you. All of you are consumed by this, taken over by this tide. know for a fact some of you will not emerge from it. And that's it.
Significantly less information than the last time we did this.
Hey, it's almost like
You know what?
It's kind of pushing in and blocking your work presence to some degree.
Exactly.
This is fun. I might be able to help with that.
I can't predict bugs, so
Can anyone predict the bugs?
no one can predict.
Move, dogs. I love you, but you gotta go. Anyway,
Oh.
you're great. She's just being annoying in my lap is all. All right. In any case, so let's do this. So that's sort of the vision you receive, and you can sort of react to it as you feel appropriate.
As it just kind of all comes to a conclusion, it's clear that it's faded out, and she's not really gonna get any more that she sighs and ends up just rubbing around her eyes and actually kind of looking around and gauging the room, because everyone else has kind of been doing the same thing, so seeing what their reactions are, if they're kind of getting the same thing.
Some of the psychers around you are maintaining their meditation for different reasons. Some are kind of like trying to sort of like preempt their powers or like tap into their energies. Others are making extrapathic communications to other psychers elsewhere on the planet or elsewhere other places, or trying to get communicated outside of the planet. But at least a few of them are doing similar things to you, trying to, you know, push through the veil of fate and see what might be preserved. You can notice at least 3 of them are doing so. One is sweating profusely, focused, eyes closed. Second is sort of like resolved, focused in their sort of like, as they kind of come out of their vision, just like, The last one starts screaming. And as he's sort of just breaking out into this maddened, shrill cries, just screeching out and yelling, it breaks the meditation of plenty of psychers. And not long after, almost as if like when a room full of psychers is a thing and one of them starts screaming, you should be prepped for this kind of thing. A couple of stormtroopers armed in not regular guardsman armor, but like full-on like stormtrooper, imperial like stormtrooper armor, burst in with stun batons and just jab at him, just shock him immediately into a stun state, and just drag that person out of the room.
Ooh.
And it falls quiet again.
Well, and I guess there's nothing left to do except go face the storm.
Or the swarm.
Ah!
That's what they pay me the big bucks for. Hey, Taman, you figure out those drugs.
So anyway, drugs.
anyway, drugs.
Anyway, drugs. It's great. I have a shopping list now, you guys.
Shit, we're going shopping.
Well, yeah, because like all the combat drugs are like rare or very rare or above, so like you don't really get to do that until you're like higher up in the ranks.
Well,
So yeah, you know, drugs are for the high rank people.
Yeah, drugs are for the
Anyway. So if possible, I'd love to see if I could get my hands on some friends on.
What's that? Rare, very rare?
It's very rare.
You can get your hands on some friends anytime you want.
Flat 40.
Ooh, I don't know. Wait, what?
Flat 40 roll.
Okay, what am I rolling again?
A D100 looking for under 40. You have at least 1 + 2 from chat to use. The squad also has 2 + 2, so just any of you can use any time.
Okay.
I'll give you a hint. This is a good roll to take a +2 on, because that makes you.
Okay.
That means
I'll go ahead and do that.
So D100 looking for under 60.
Wait, plus what? Sorry, I have to slow down.
Just roll a D100.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looking for
Plus,
under
don't
60.
add anything.
My bad. I had a brownie in my mouth.
Okay, 31, not bad.
Oh, you don't even need these.
So I'm fine.
Oh, yeah, you got it. No question.
Alright, cool. So that's
Actually,
gonna be
yeah,
fun.
I'll give you that, and I'll also let you keep your +2 because you wouldn't need it anyway.
Okay, cool. If possible, some spook would be great. I believe that is rare. That's rare.
Okay. So then let me check on that. For rare.
Except for a wonderful psyker friend. It's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, for rare it's actually, yeah, base -10, and then so -20, but then. So yeah, you're actually looking for D10. D100, looking for under 50 here. Because you're overall +10 for this, as it's just a rare item.
All right, under 50.
How many doses did you want?
Of each of these, if possible, like maybe 2.
They have 4. You wanted. What was the second one you wanted?
Spook.
They have 4.
The second one.
They have 4 of those available.
Oh my god. Oh, Meg's already gone, but oh my god, they're gonna love this.
Yeah. So you got 4 doses of spook and 2 frenzy.
And it's totally fine if this isn't possible, but some detox would also be great.
And that's a.
I think that's fair. Yeah. No, it's rare. It's rare.
Looking for under 50.
Okay. I'm just writing down the things that I have now.
Both amused and concerned that our medic is actively procuring spook.
But
I'm a plus
we'll have
2,
you
though.
actually use the +2 here, because then
So
you
I'll
get
be
it.
fine.
Just barely, so yes,
Okay.
they have the 2 doses. You're good.
69. Nice.
The sex number! It's nice!
Nice number. Okay, so how many?
I need
do we have?
nices in chat. They have 2 doses of that. I need them right now.
Okay.
I need them
Okay.
immediately. Get on it, stream chat. Get on it! Hell yes!
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I need nices!
I'm personally not going to take it, and I don't recommend anyone else but our psyker take it. But yeah.
Well, there you go. So yeah, you got drugs. You're the plug now.
So
I love
proud
this
of you.
fucking campaign.
I'm so proud of you. You've done it.
I love this campaign so fucking much, guys. Okay, we're gonna get back to that in a little bit, actually. But yeah, so you walk up, yeah, so here's what happens here. I'm gonna play this out, right? Actually, I'm gonna play this out. So you walk up, and as you're looking for Reki stuff, Taman, I'm gonna tell you what happens. Here's that choice you gotta make, right? So as you're walking towards Reki, you see someone that has like a big, like, kind of hover pallet of stuff, of like crates and stuff, kind of moving towards the back of it. One of the crates falls off. You go pick it up and you open it. It's a crate of drugs. And so here's how it's gonna work for you mechanically. You have the choice. You can give this crate back on the hover pallet and go just wreck you normally and just get the drugs you've gotten today. Alternatively, you can take this crate of drugs, and the way this will work is it'll be sort of like a mystery grab bag of drugs, which will not only you get the doses you want for now, you get those doses still, but anytime you go to Reki Drugs, rather than going to the Reki room, you'll go look in this crate. You'll still roll, but at much higher benefits because it's your personal supply here, and that'll determine what you have. But there will be story implications for you having this crate.
Oh no, you don't understand the flaw. The flaw that I rolled at the beginning of this campaign was thief.
Oh, well.
What have you done?
Then the choice is made! It's almost like I read your character sheet.
Are you fucking serious? Oh, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you know
You're
things
in
about
Seven
my
Sons with
character?
me. You should know how I roll by
I know.
now.
I know.
You should know this. You know how I do
Joke.
these things.
It's sarcasm. It's the sarcasm. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I need the yeah.
So yeah, you pick up this crate, and yeah, you just, like, you pick it up, you look left, you look right. Everyone's too busy shuffling around. You just tuck that over back to your take it back to, like, your personal storage room. And you're kind of like, all right, I need 2 doses of friends in. I need two spoons. I need 2. Like, you're looking for these 2 detox. And as you go to find, you find the 2 friends, and you find the 2 detox, and you find those 4 doses of spook. And you're like, nice. You take those into your stuff, and as you're kind of like putting them into your gear and stuff, Benin walks in. Just, Doctor.
Benin?
I'd ask where you got your hands on those, but it's probably better if I don't know, right?
Probably, yeah.
Then my lips are sealed. You should know, though... Oh god, I feel like a street criminal. There are some soldiers around the barracks who have been talking about wanting access to some things and being willing to trade for them. I might know some people who maybe are in the market for some of those wares you've acquired there. We can talk about it later if you want. I just thought it might.
That might be a later thing. Depends on the trade, but maybe.
Just offering the resource. In either case, I'll see you around. All right? Let's go kill some bugs.
For sure.
And with that, unless there's anyone else who wants to recce anything, who hasn't recce'd anything else they want to recce? Anybody need to grab anything they don't have yet? No? Cool. Got it. So, you all start gathering, getting yourself together. As you're coming along, Kiernan, you see, so Flint still has like his like kind of las gun slung over him, obviously. But he's ditched the rocket tube, and instead you see he's currently holding a flamer in his hand.
So, well, we're giving up on the fun stuff, and
Tanks go boom, bugs go burn.
yeah, this is why you're the smarter of us. You always have the best plan. See, they gave me the old plasma back. So,
It kind of like they gave you Bessie back. Ooh, she still looks as good as I remember her. Oh, what a good girl.
Just as likely to blow too.
He just looks very excited.
Well, if I'd get my scars back somehow, right?
I think you look better with him personally.
See, that's what I said. But of course, these dang medic, just gonna fix all your problems.
I don't know. Does every doctor disagree with that? He looks over at you, Taman.
No, I was there. Okay.
Oh yeah, you're all gathering together. This is like your squad.
Oh, okay. Cool.
You'd also notice Benin is now, like, after leaving you from the drug hoarding you were doing, he's kind of gathered back in, and he has a larger sort of med pack with him, which you assume has some more medical equipment with him.
This is gonna have exchange looks with Kieran. I'm not gonna say anything.
This is usually the part where you would say words, but you know, respect your choices.
Hey, I need you to validate me if you don't mind. Just if you could do that real quick, I'd love that. Story of my life. Anywho.
But you know, well, I got all the info I needed.
Yeah. So the rest of you gather. You'd all see like your typical gear is with you. Sorry. Oh my God. Lenora. Sorry, I blanked on name for a minute there. Lenora. Phaedra approaches, and she has kind of like a grenade belt around her with like a couple extra grenades tucked. So she also seems like she's a bit better equipped. Remus is around. He has a combat shotgun with him rather than his along with his usual las gun, so he's definitely much better equipped than he usually is. And lastly, your newest squad mate, Reisman, is around. And she is again pretty standardly equipped, but you'll notice that she has a chainsword with her, but it's sheathed not at her hip, but behind her back. And you'll notice that that grip seems a lot longer than the one your sergeant used to have on his chainsword. In fact, the chainsword itself seems a little bit longer than his normally.
Is that in this area?
She looks over and says, "It is."
Impressive.
Family heirloom.
Would you like me to give a cursory examination to ensure it's in working order?
She'll pull it from her back, hold it in front, and just say, "My father was on Armageddon and wielded this blade. He died holding it. It already has his blessing, but one more couldn't hurt, right?"
So yeah, Ziggy nods and like reverently takes it, examines it thoroughly. And I'm assuming that it was as well maintained as the one I procured in the field, or if not better.
Oh, it is expert quality. Like, this is like artisan level. Like, you're like, did a tech priest make this? This is really well made.
So, yeah. Nod of approval. Quiet prayer to the Omnissiah, the machine god, and the motor force to make sure this thing protects its user. And hands it back.
She takes it, sheets it back over, and just, again, offers you just a very crisp, firm nod and thanks. You're all prepared, and you're all feeling ready to go. As you're sort of loading up into your new Valkyrie dropship, your normally would be taken to the front in a Chimera, but at this point there's just not enough ground vehicles left to go around. A lot of them are being deployed for actual attack runs and things like that, and are being used for other regiments. And since you already had an attached gunship to your squad, they figured just have you guys deployed in that basically. So you load up in your gunship. The commander is sort of at the front of this sort of a row of gunships as squads are loading up. He is walking back and forth, taking in all the squads. And as you all turn, you kind of all see him, and every squad at once turns and offers him a firm salute. And he kind of just starts taking you all in, looking around, starts nodding a bit. And then he opens up and he says, you know, a couple of months ago, you all were greenhorns on Manchun, shooting at targets badly, executing squad orders badly. And look at you all now, soldiers of the goddamn Imperium. I'm impressed with every single one of you. More impressed with those who aren't here with us anymore. You'll see Flint kind of clutch a set of dog ties on his chest closer. But for those of you who are still here, there's still a war to fight. And it will be nothing like you fought so far. Trust in your guns, trust in your comrades, and trust in yourselves. A lot of you won't make it back here. We'll make sure you have a tale to tell. Deploy when ready, troops. Dismissed. And you are allowed to sort of turn and sort of load up into your Valkyrie gunship. You'll notice that even on your gunship, there's a rack of missiles that's been kind of like attached to them. You regularly kind of just bolted those on because they just needed to get the firepower out at this point. And yeah, there's a slow hum as gunship engines begin to stir up. Once I get my sound set back up, apologies. As gunship engines slowly begin to stir up, and you are eventually taken into the skies. There's a rumble. In the viewport below, you mostly just see the haze of the destroyed city, the city that your forces tore through and secured and sieged by your grit, by your will. You move through these walls, pass over other guardsmen being deployed in chimeras or moving in regimented infantry line formations towards walls and garrisons. You see servers and tech priests and tech and construction teams building up battlements and strong points and bolting in heavy bolter turrets and heavy flamer turrets wherever they can and on streets. You see sandbags and trap emplacements being layered in, and more than that, you see people. As you look up, all those people who spent the past months railing and screaming and hating all of you, they look up mostly in fear, but also perhaps just a bit of hope that if anything can push back what's to come, it's you all. As the gunship roars towards the eastern walls, slowly arcing itself towards the landing zone, the comms click open. Your pilot says, 4 minutes of deployment, ready yourselves. You see your comrades begin to check their gear, check all their strappings and everything. You aren't dropping in, you'll be dropped onto the walls and have the ramp lowered, so you can just kind of walk off, obviously. But in the distance, you can see a tide approaching. An infinite number of black dots. Too far to be made out into figures yet, but uncountable billions of them pouring towards Nexus. And with that, I want to have us go to a very brief break. We will be right back. Thank you so much for staying tuned and hanging out. I look forward to seeing the action unfold in real time. You all should stay tuned. My players should grab some water, and we'll see you in just a little bit. Bye.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know.
I am about to go full, like, absolute gross street warfare. Always, yes. Yes.
Oh.
I need my Earthshaker
I
cannon
think
then.
they can still hear us.
Oh,
Thank you, Michelle.
Oop.
It should be fixed now. It should be fixed now. I actually can't tell. Streamlabs is being fucky right now. That's actually really funny, yeah. Damn it! I can't. Hold on. I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna fix this. By fix it, I mean I'm gonna end stream and then just reopen it. So I'm sorry, friends. Don't worry. We'll be right back. Okay, I love you.